This video is all about the Pride. The Pride is one of our needlepoint kit collections, which is based on these lovely lions. Each kit is a different lion, from Fernando to Percival, and the one I'm going to be showing you how to stitch here is our one Cornelius. And so I'm going to talk you through all the steps to stitching this kit. So first up, what is in the kit? Now our kits come in these sewing bags, and the idea being that you can take the bag on the go with you and keep everything in one place. You've first got a book just explaining a little bit of the background behind the range. Then you've got your canvas, and the canvas is printed with the design. You've then got a printed plan, and now this is more for those people who would rather follow a plan than the printed canvas. Don't try to follow both the printed canvas and the written instructions because they tend to have a little bit of misalignment, but I'll explain more about that later on. You've got all your wool, which is cut into pre-cut stitching lengths, and then in this needle book you've got some tapestry needles to use. In each of the Pride there's 6 or 7 wool colours, so first go through and sort out your wool colours and make sure you're comfortable with which colour goes where. On the website we've got a picture showing the wool colours alongside the printed plan, so you should be able to quite easily work out which colour goes where. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to stitch on a tapestry frame. You don't have to use this, but I find it easier to maintain tension. So first, your canvas may need a little bit of trimming to get it to fit the frame. The frame I'm using here is one which we sell in our shop and is perfect for stitching tapestry on. It's called an easy clip frame because you just clip your canvas into place. I'm going to show you how to do that here. I would always rather stitch tapestry like this because not only do I find it a little easier to handle, but it means when you finish stitching your piece, you won't have to block your needlepoint. And blocking needlepoint is the point in the process where you get everything straight again. If you stitch on a frame, your canvas will tend to stay straight, and so you avoid the blocking process, which personally is part of the process I don't like. So you can see I've clipped my piece in place on either end, and then all I'm doing is I'm tightening the wooden beams until the whole thing is straight. With our kits, our tapestry canvases are all printed, and so you can see the design is printed onto the canvas, so effectively it's a colouring by numbers. But if you would rather follow a counted cross-stitch method, then we do include a stitch plan with all the kits, so if you would rather count as you go, you can. Personally, I'd really recommend just colouring by numbers, follow what's printed on the canvas, and even if your stitches are not exactly matching the gridded plan, it will look great. So, I'm taking one of my lengths of pre-cut thread, and I'm threading my needle and tying a knot in the end. Now I'm going to work in a way here where I have a knot-free method on the back. To do that, I have the knot on the front of the canvas. So you see I've put the knot quite a long way away from where I'm going to start stitching, and then I've gone back to the starting point and I'm starting to stitch towards the knot. And here I am doing a classic tent stitch. In tent stitch, all you're doing is working diagonally across the square. So you see I'm bringing my needle up on the top left and I'm taking it down to the bottom right. On each stitch, it doesn't matter whether you go top left to bottom right or bottom left to top right. All that matters is throughout the entire piece you stay consistent. So if you're working your needle in that diagonal, stay consistent. And you'll see I've stitched over the top of the thread so that I can now cut away the knot from the front. By stitching towards the knot, I have secured the wool in place. So this is how I work in a knot-free manner. Now, if you want to jump around and move around all over your canvas, you absolutely can do. All you do is, as you stitch, as long as you keep your top stitch going in the same diagonal direction, i.e. left to right or right to left, it doesn't matter how you move across the canvas. So you can see here, I'm just moving down and I'm just making sure that I'm always stitching in the same way. So when you want to add in another colour, you can do that at any point. You do not have to fill in a whole area and then get to the second colour. So I'm going to show you exactly the same method here. I've got my pink thread, I've taken my knot from the front to the back of the canvas, bringing my needle up away from my knot, and then I'm going to work back towards it. Again, all my stitches, you'll notice, are going in the same diagonal direction. So every diagonal is on a top left to bottom right. Whether that means I'm stitching here, bottom right to top left, or here going top left to bottom right, it doesn't matter. My diagonal is the same way each time. So all you do is you keep filling in this manner. Now, in order to secure the thread, all you do is when you flip over your canvas, on the back you'll have various stitches, and all I do is I run my needle underneath them a few times, securing the wool in place. And that's as simple as it is with stitching your tent stitch. You fill out the entire canvas using these diagonal stitches. I really hope you enjoy stitching up this piece. It's a method that I think really switches you off. It's colouring by numbers, but you're going to create a piece that will last lifetimes. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch, and do take a look at our other how-to videos for our other kits.